Hey, I am currently on the road filming our 3-part, 3-hour series for PBS, so I'm actually not here right now, except we filmed this in the past, so I am. Here's some books that I like. I don't have all these books because I have a library card, so some of them are from the library. But anyway, here's one. It's called Timefulness, How Thinking Like a Geologist Can Help Save the World by Marcia Bjornerud. So trying to wrap one's mind around deep time concepts, like the fact that our planet is 4.5 billion years old and modern day humans have only been around for the last 2 million years, which is about 0.04% of all of that time, is understandably super challenging. This book can help with that. It's a great introduction for how geologists wrap their minds around concepts of deep time and outlines how imperative it is for us, we humans, to start trying to think beyond a few family generations and to better understand the long-term impact of our actions today, which is why I like that book. The next book is The Dinosaur Artist, Obsession, Betrayal, and the Quest for Earth's Ultimate Trophy by Paige Williams. So this book is really interesting because it focuses on 2 different areas of the commercial fossil industry, which is the legal side of the commercial fossil industry and the illegal side of the commercial fossil industry, especially looking at some amazing fossils that have been found in the last couple of years in Mongolia. So if you want a true crime story that investigates auction houses and specimen preparation and fossil finds, it's a really good one to pick up. The next book that has an intersection with natural history museums and true crime is The Feather Thief, Beauty, Obsession, and the Natural History Heist of the Century by Kirk Wallace Johnson. This might have been the best and most infuriating book I've read in the last year. It's an artfully written true crime story of how one man's greed and infatuation with the art of fly tying led to the break-in and theft of historically and scientifically valuable specimens of birds from the Natural History Museum in Tring. And as someone who has devoted the last 8 years of their life to trying to help other people understand the importance of museum collections, it hit really close to home. It was kind of tough to read, but it's super well written, and I highly recommend it for anybody who likes natural history museums. It makes me really angry. This book makes me mad. Our next book is Rambunctious Garden, Saving Nature in a Post-Wild World by Emma Maris. We mentioned this book in our episode Go Outside, but I think it's worth resharing. So when I moved to Chicago from Montana, I had a really hard time adjusting to living in this big urban environment, and I really struggled to find nature around me. Emma Maris talks about this in her book, and it really helped me to redefine what being in nature means to me now, living in a city. So it turns out that there is no escaping nature. For better or worse, nature is all around you. Now I see it more clearly. Our next book is Zoo, Nebraska, The Dismantling of an American Dream by Carson Vaughn. This is a really sad story of a good idea going very badly. It details the rise and fall of Zoo, Nebraska, which was a wildlife zoo and primate house in the tiny town of Royal, Nebraska, population 63. The zoo was started by a college graduate who aspired to work with Dian Fossey studying mountain gorillas in Africa before her murder in 1985. He eventually sought to establish his own primate research program in his hometown of Royal. And it didn't really work out well for anyone involved. Anyway, it's not a cheerful read, but it's a really interesting story of small town project mismanagement and is ultimately probably Leslie Knope's worst nightmare. That's what I kept thinking when I was reading it. I was like, if Parks and Rec took this over, it'd be a very different story. Our next book is Primates, The Fearless Science of Jane Goodall, Dian Fossey, and Biruté Galdikas by Jim Ottaviani and Maurice Wicks. Speaking of Dian Fossey, if you'd like an introduction to her work, as well as famed primatologist Jane Goodall and Biruté Galdikas, this graphic novel is a great place to begin. These were 3 students of paleoanthropologist Louis Leakey, who went on to pave new roads for primate research in Africa. So they're awesome women who had interesting research programs. The back cover of this is adorable. The illustrations are great. Stories are charming. I like chimpanzees. This is a really fun one for Brain Scoop viewers. It's called Stuffed Animals, a guide to modern taxidermy by Brain Scoop friends Divya Anantharaman and Katie Innamorato. They've been on the show. If you've been looking for a great how-to taxidermy guide, boy, are you in luck. This one came out a few years ago, but it's really great, and it has a lot of step-by-step guides for doing some of your first taxidermy. This book will even show you how you can make your own 2-headed parakeet, and it even has recipes in the back for things like woodchuck tacos, and he's like cradling the jalapeno. You should buy this book just for this still life. And for our last book, of course, I have to mention that the Field Museum put out a book last year to celebrate 125 moments in the natural history of the Field Museum. If you love learning about the history and the behind-the-scenes work of natural history museums, and especially of the Field Museum, this one gives you a really good snapshot of how our museum has changed and grown in the last 125 years. And bonus, there's even a brain scoop in it. I'm in the book. Check it out. It's an octopus. I hope you like these books, and if you go check them out, make sure to let me know. I'd love to hear what you thought about them. And as always, if you have recommendations for me, feel free to leave them in the comments below. That's below. That's my indication. Okay. Bye. It still has brains on it.